In this presentation, we will be discussing the significance of the radio in World War I by Gio, Emily, Jenna, Remy, and Abigail.
To begin with, the evolution of radios began in 1855 with James Clerk Maxwell's theories of electromagnetism, and in 1886 Hertz used these theories and developed the earliest version of a radio transmitter, which used Hertzian waves, which are received by a simple antenna. And in 1894, Marconi used Morse code, and this was very useful for military uses. And in 1906, the radio audio technology was improved greatly, and radios were very useful during World War I because they were a crucial tool in sending and receiving messages to the military. And in the 1920s, this was the beginning of private usage and the beginning of radio stations. And today, radios are seen in homes, vehicles, and entertainment.
Now we are going to be talking about the uses of radios, keeping in mind that the radio was still in its infancy in 1914 when World War I started, as in 1913 it had a maximum range of 2,000 yards on aircraft, but was very difficult to tow on land and around the battlefield, causing naval forces to make extensive use of radio, mostly to control widely dispersed fleets and have communication among them. This included voice communication, which was a lot better than the Morse code communications used in 1912. However, radios were also used to intercept on different countries, such as in 1915, where the British Navy intercepted communications from Germany and trapped them and opened fire on them in Chile.
Moving on to the general impact of radios during World War I. Radios broadcasted news about traumatic events during the war, such as what was going on the battlefield. This brought emotional impact to those listening in and brought a sense of unity to the nation. Another impact of radios is it was a source of entertainment. Radios broadcasted music and radio shows / dramas to entertain those who were dealing with this sensitive time. Another impact of the radios is that it was used in planes to communicate with troops with a distance of 2,000 yards, though it wasn't as reliable as a telegraph.
Some specific uses of radio technology include using it in combination with aircrafts, as pilots in the aircrafts would be able to communicate and work in tandem with those on the ground. The aircrafts could communicate where bombs would be dropped on enemy fields, direct where the airplanes should attack while remaining aerial, and to be able to perform reconnaissance on enemy territories and army positions. Reconnaissance as such is similar to Germany's Schlieffenplan, which may have been an effective attack if airplanes and radio communication had been more advanced in that time frame. Furthermore, the development of radios had soon surpassed many other forms of communication, and at most points viewed as the most efficient form in comparison to others like messenger birds, dogs, the Morse code preceding the time of radio communication, flag signals, and light signals. Other impacts include the prevention of major wipeouts, which could have affected the length of the World War, as many deadlocks had occurred from failed attacks. Gas masks could have been prepared through communication, and airplane sightings could be conveyed to other soldiers to prepare.
The significance of the radio can be seen in that it was used to spread propaganda at home fronts in order to persuade citizens to support government policies. Public opinion was an important driving factor into each of the nations' involvement in the war. In addition, it was a vital form of communication on the battlefield, as it was used to direct aircraft and tanks effectively and to direct troops along lengthy front lines. This essentially changed the nature of warfare, as it made mobilization much easier and more efficient. And this can be seen in the last months of the war, where troops were moving around quite frequently. So in essence, the radio sped up the pace of the war.